The Silent Symphony. The city of Verona had always been a place where history whispered through cobblestone streets, where every balcony seemed to hold secrets of love and longing. For Elena, a young violinist with dreams larger than her modest apartment, Verona was both a stage and a prison. She played at cafes, in dimly lit theaters, and sometimes on the street corners where tourists tossed coins into her case. Music was her language, her way of speaking to a world that often felt too loud, too indifferent. Adrian, on the other hand, was a writer. His words had traveled farther than his feet ever had. He had published novels that spoke of heartbreak, redemption, and the fragile beauty of human connection. Yet, despite his success, Adrian lived in solitude. His apartment overlooked the Adige River, and every evening he sat by the window, watching the water carry away fragments of the day. He believed love was something he had already written about too many times, something he could no longer experience, only observe. Their worlds collided one rainy evening. Elena was playing under the awning of a small cafe, her violin singing against the rhythm of raindrops. Adrian, drenched and restless, stopped in his tracks. The melody pierced through him, not as sound but as memory. It reminded him of a chapter he had once written about a woman who played music to heal her broken heart. He stood there, listening, until the last note dissolved into silence. Elena looked up, her eyes meeting his. For a moment, the rain seemed to pause. Adrian approached, hesitant, as though he were stepping into one of his own stories. "You play as if the world is listening," he said softly. Elena smiled, a little shy, a little curious. "And you listen as if the world has stopped." That was the beginning. Chapter 1. Conversations in Rain. They began to meet often, sometimes by chance, sometimes by choice. Adrian would linger near the cafe where Elena played, and she would notice him, always with a notebook in hand. Their conversations were not ordinary. They spoke of art, of silence, of the way music could say what words could not. Elena confessed that she feared her music would never reach beyond Verona. Adrian admitted that his words, though published, often felt hollow without someone to share them with. One evening, Adrian asked, "Do you believe love is like music, something you feel but cannot explain?" Elena tilted her head, her fingers brushing the strings of her violin. "No, I think love is the silence after the music ends. It's what lingers." Adrian wrote that down. He always wrote down her words, as if they were lines of poetry he had been waiting to discover. Chapter 2. The Balcony. Verona was famous for its balconies, and Elena's was no exception. It overlooked a narrow street where lanterns glowed at night. Adrian began visiting her apartment, bringing books, listening to her practice. Sometimes they sat on the balcony together, watching the city breathe. Elena would play softly, and Adrian would read aloud passages from his novels. Their evenings became symphonies of sound and silence. One night, Elena asked him to write something for her. "Not for the world," she said. "Just for me." Adrian hesitated. He had written for countless readers, but never for one person alone. Yet he agreed. The next day, he handed her a letter, folded neatly. It was not a story, but a confession. "You are the music I thought I had lost. You are the silence I never knew I needed. If love is a symphony, then I want to spend my life listening to yours." Elena read it, her hands trembling. She did not speak. Instead, she lifted her violin and played a melody so tender, so fragile, that Adrian felt tears rise in his eyes. It was her answer. Chapter 3. Distance. But love, like music, is never without dissonance. Adrian was offered a fellowship in Paris, a chance to write among the greats, to expand his career. Elena encouraged him, though her heart ached. "Go," she said, "your words deserve the world." Adrian left, promising to return. In Paris, he wrote endlessly, but every page carried traces of Elena. He described her music, her laughter, the way her silence filled his apartment. Letters traveled between them, each one a lifeline. Elena's were filled with stories of Verona, of the cafe, of the nights she played under the stars. Adrian's were filled with longing, with words that tried to bridge the distance. Yet distance has a way of testing love. Weeks turned into months. Adrian's success grew, but so did his fear, that Elena's music would fade without him, that she would forget the symphony they had begun.